make it a positive thing. So that's what it was. But I mean, as far as like the kids that would like talk say really obscene things about me, it got to the point where I just really didn't care, and as I said before, it was just like a fuel to what I was doing. And so I mean, sometimes I would even purposely like say really ridiculous things just so they would make more rumors, because I realized it was actually helping me.
Sure.
You know, and I don't know. I look at things a lot differently now, though. That was kind of, at the time that I was doing that, I felt like it was a very immature perspective on things. You know, I don't really want to represent, like, that negative person. Like, Blacklisted Me, I took it down because I just really don't want to represent, like, I don't want to represent hatred. Instead, I would rather just, like, do something.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to explain it.
No, Lexus, you don't have to explain it. That pretty well says it all. I mean, and that was kind of the other thing I wanted to get into with you about a little bit. You know, I know, or I knew at the time that you had to have some very good reasons for taking that song down off your website, and now that you've had a chance to talk about it, I completely understand all that. And yet, even as I tell you I understand, I also have to tell you it's still, to this day, it still resonates with me, the song itself. It's still one of my favorites, you know?
It is, I mean, it is a good song, you know, and it definitely represents a part of who I was, you know, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with, like, standing up for yourself.
Sure.
And I'll always represent standing up for what you believe in, and that's why my name will always be Blacklisted Me, because no matter how many people don't like what I'm doing, I'm still going to continue to do it. No matter if I'm, you know, being called a whore one day and then the next day I'm like a follower of Jesus Christ, you know, it doesn't matter. I'm going to do it no matter what anyone else says. So that's why I will always be Blacklisted Me.
Well, and Lexus, just to get into that part of it a little bit, you know, you did, having captured the attention of the new rock community, as you did, you came out of the blue with Reprobate Romance, followed it up with that, and then you all at once, you changed your whole direction, and you still, even with that, you still managed to hang on to most of the fans that you had all along. And and not only that, not only have you hung on to them, but I would tend to suggest that you've added to your fan. But you may have lost a few, but for every one you've lost, I would say you've picked up at least 4 or 5. I think that's a pretty fair statement.
Yeah, it's never a dull moment with me, that's for sure. I think a lot of the reason the kids want to follow is just because I'm always changing and doing something that they're like, whoa, I did not expect that. I don't think the kids were really expecting me to be calling myself a whore and then a few weeks later getting baptized. So it's been pretty crazy, but I just, you know, as I go through my life trials, I kind of, I let everyone else be a part of it, and I want music. I want every lyric that I write to be a page out of my journal. You know, I want these kids to be on the journey with me, so in a sense it can help them too, because everyone's going through their own trials in life, and if they can find someone that they can relate with, it's a lot easier to get through.
Well, sure. And so Lexus, do you mind if I ask, I mean, what is it in your personal life that led you to this change in direction?
Well, honestly, what did it, like, after Blacklisted Me came out, I was really, like I said, like, I was taking all that hatred and using it as fuel. I was, like, feeding off of negativity, and I think finally, like, it really took a toll on me. Like, no matter how many times you can say, like, oh, I don't care what they say about me, or you know, like, just put up with it. Like, I was getting so much hatred online and everything that, like, I think it actually finally did take a toll on me, and I realized, you know what, like, I don't need to use this negativity to fuel my fire. I don't need to put up with this anymore. And I felt like I was in a really dark place. I was drinking a lot. I was partying a lot. I wasn't happy with myself. And I was so like hell bent on getting revenge on people, and I was just, honestly, I was like a really mean person, and I just realized that that's not who I wanted to be anymore. And I grew up kind of having like a religious past.
Okay.
But I ended up hating religion due to like all of the hypocrisy I would see.
Yeah.
And I was raised religious, ended up hating it because of all the hypocrisy I would see. And then after, you know, doing everything, drinking, partying, doing all the horrible, like sleeping around, whatever, like doing all the things that I could have done that would have rebelled against religion, I realized like nothing in that life was truly fulfilling. And once I found my own relationship with God, not a relationship that anyone else had with God, you know, I felt truly fulfilled, and it really changed my life in the best way possible. So, and I never, like, honestly, like, of everyone in Hollywood, I would have considered myself the last person that would have ever turned to Jesus Christ. But I did, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me. And I don't have regrets anymore. I don't hate anyone anymore. I don't want revenge on anyone anymore. Like, my only instinct in life now is to just help other people, and it feels so much better to feed off of positive energy rather than negative energy and just trying to be shocking to people. Like, Manson's a shock rocker. I wanted to be a shock rocker, but you have to realize, like, it's actually a lot harder to be the good guy than it is to be the bad guy. Well, I was the bad guy. Yeah. And, you know, and especially in the rock and music scene, it's a lot harder to be the good person, because it's very uncool to be a Christian in this rock scene, so...
Well, and on that note, Lexus, because you and I are friends on Facebook, and I see your postings, and you get kind of a polarized response. You know, you do have some people that come in with a very negative response, but then you also have many others who come in with a very, very positive and uplifting response. And you know, I know for a fact that you have touched the hearts of many, many people, and especially many kids, and, well, quite frankly, a great deal many kids of all ages. Have you found the same polarizing response within the new rock community? Like, have other rockers come to you and given you some support, or have the responses been the same with your own friends in real life?
Honestly, like, a lot of my friends in real life, like, I didn't really feel like I was that supported. I think a lot of people in Hollywood thought I went crazy when they saw those pictures of me being baptized. I think everyone thinks I kind of, like, went off the deep end with that. Okay. So that was pretty much the response that I got. I really didn't feel supported by that many of my friends. There was, like, a handful of my friends that really supported what I did, but I don't really have a lot of friends that are believers either, which I don't care if you're a believer or not. Like, obviously I would like you to be, but, like, I don't judge anyone if they're not religious. I'm not trying to shove it down anyone's throats by any means. But I think that a lot of the people that knew me, I don't know. Like, a lot of them just stopped talking to me. Like, I lost, I think, a lot of friends, and I put that in parentheses because I think most of them are just acquaintances. Well, but I don't know. I don't really care because I know I'm a lot happier now, and I don't really care to be in, like, the Hollywood bar scene, and relevance stopped being important to me. That was the #1 thing that, like, really changed in my head when I turned to Christ. Like, I stopped caring about how many people liked me. I stopped caring about how many followers I had on Twitter. And when I finally did that, like, I really didn't care if anyone liked what I was doing. I didn't care if anyone liked the songs that I was making. I was still going to do it. Even if I could change one person's life, or if I could change 1 million people's lives, it doesn't matter.